we're going to kind of soft start. No big deal. It's the end of the day. But I want to say welcome. This is such a beautiful thing to see familiar faces and new faces. And thank you all for doing another Zoom, because we know that it's not novel. It's not cute anymore. So thank you. We really wish we were in person with you all. My name's Allie. I've had the honor of serving on the ACD board for 3 years now and spent the past year as ACD board president, which is, it's been so cool. And we miss you all. We wish we were doing this together in Portland. But here we are, and we're gonna make the best of it, and we're gonna use this opportunity because I think many of you were able to join us who maybe wouldn't have been able to in Portland. So welcome and thank you. Many of you are members, and so again, this is the Association for Community Design, and I know many of you aren't. And I just wanted to do a quick kind of rundown of the goal of today. And really what we're hoping to do is just to touch base with our community of practice. For so many of us, the ACD convening is a place where we get to see the people who mean so much to us and where we feel seen and understood, and it's a loss and we are grieving it. So we're happy to see you today. And additionally, we do want to explain to new folks who we are, what we do, why you might want to be a member. We've also had a really big year, and I'm really proud of the work that ACD has been able to accomplish over the past year, and we do want to share that. And additionally, we want to continue to hold ourselves accountable and to push ourselves forward. And so we want to also share out with you all what we're looking at over the course of the next year. The format of the meeting is we're going to be together for a while talking, and then we're going to break out into smaller breakout rooms. And the goal of that is going to be to move into areas that mean the most to you as our constituents, as the people who we serve. And so we'll get more into that. Those are our committees. And we are, as an organization, restructuring a little bit to make sure that we are accessible and that you all are able to find a way to be involved with us. And so before we get into too much, I would ask ACD board members, if you don't mind, just add ACD to the end of your name. Be awesome. I will also say, please use the Zoom chat. Again, this is our community. These are our people. You know, please feel free to run that the whole time, talk to folks, you know, enjoy it. Additionally, if you ever have any questions about ACD or anything, send a private message to any one of us on the board. We're happy to answer it here and or access us outside of the meeting, and we're more than happy to talk to you about anything. So we do have 2 board members rolling off this year, and we want to acknowledge their amazing service. Ashley Flintoff is finishing 2 terms, so 6 years on the ACD board. Amazing service. She's been our communications guru. She's held it down for us. Social media, website changes, all kinds of things. And it's always been such a pleasure because it's always done with a smile and so much enthusiasm. And Ashley, we're gonna miss you, but we're not letting you off the hook. You can still be a member. And you still—
Don't worry, I will be.
Okay. So on behalf of all of the board, we genuinely want to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. For your knowledge, your humor, you know, your experience, all of it. It's just been lovely. So thank you, friend. Yes, exactly. Like, woo! And additionally, Heidi Shatton is also moving off of our board. Heidi and I came on together, and it's just been so wonderful to have such a steady and just consistent and amazingly supportive board member in Heidi. She's been our secretary for 2 of the past 3 years. We're so well organized with our notes, and she keeps us on track with so many things. And so again, huge thank yous. and huge congratulations for all of the life changes that she's got going on. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We do have new board members who I want to make sure we acknowledge. So new board members, if you don't mind, I'm actually going to have you all be the first ones to introduce yourselves. And I apologize for throwing this at you, but we're going to do name, pronoun, location, and the land, whose land you occupy. And this is a shout out to Design Futures who did this, and you know, we're taking it forward because it's important. So with that, I think Ebony, I'm going to have you start if you don't mind.
Sure. Hello, everyone. My name is Ebony Dumas. My pronouns are she, her, and I live in Hyattsville, Maryland, which is right outside of DC, and both of those also are Piscataway land.
Awesome. And then we have Maria Berg. Maria, I know I saw you. I've got so many beautiful faces here. It's tough to find.
Yeah. I'm Maria Berg, she, her. I'm in Chicago, which is Anishinaabe and Potawatomi land.
Awesome. And Kristen, do you mind to say hey?
Hi, Kristen Chin, she, her, hers. I am in Boston, Massachusetts, on Massachusetts and Wampanoag land.
Awesome. Thank you. And then I do also want to acknowledge that Rashida Williams has also joined our board, and she's amazing. She's down in the New Orleans area, and we are just so pleased to have her join as well. The ACD board is going to go through and do quick introductions. And then what we are going to welcome everyone to do is we're going to have you fill in your introductions in the chat, and we're just going to take some loose time to connect with one another after that. I'm going to do my best. So, Stephen, do you mind to introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. My name is Stephen Klimek, he, him. I'm based in Minneapolis, St. Paul, which is Dakota and Ojibwe land. And I work in public policy around community development work right now.
How about we throw it? You throw it to the next board member and I'll try to.
Who hasn't gone? Shannon, I see you first, sorry.
Hi, everyone. I'm Shannon Arms, she, her. I'm a landscape architect in Eugene, Oregon, which is Long Tom, Suisla, Winnefelli, and Kalapuya land. And also happy Pride Month, everyone. And I will kick it over to Ife.
Hi, not you, okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Ifoma Evo, also known as Ife, she, her, hers. And I am occupying Brooklyn, New York, also known as Lenape and Canarsie land. Was that all?
Yeah, just throw it to somebody else now.
Oh, throw it to someone else. Okay, I am going to throw it to Shalini.
Hey everyone, my name is Shalini Agrawal and I'm kind of staff for ACD. I've been working on the fellowship program and I am a settler on Chochenyo and Ramaytush Ohlone land. And I think I said she, her pronouns, yes. And I will pass it to Gilad.
Hey everyone, my name is Gilad Marone. I'm also in a part-time staff position with ACD. I use he and him pronouns, and I am recently moved to just south of Albany, which is Mohican and Hodenosaunee land. And I will throw it to Heidi.
Hey everyone, I'm Heidi Shatton, she, hers pronouns. I live in Biloxi, Mississippi, and we occupy Choctaw land. And let's see, I'm looking for, how about Alexa?
Hi guys, I'm here. I am on the streets of Philadelphia. Alexa Bossi, she, her. I'm in Philadelphia, and that is Lenape territory. I don't know who it hasn't gone to yet.
Josh, throw to Josh.
All right, yes.
Hey, thanks. My name's Josh Bajungan. I'm based in Detroit, Michigan. I work at the Detroit Collaborative Design Center as an architect. And we are based on Potawatomi, Peoria, and Miami land. Yeah. Who's next?
Y'all holler, but I think it might just be me left. I think as board members right now.
Yeah.
And Ashley.
And
too.
Ashley.
Oh,
Yep,
Ashley.
Ash, you go first.
Hey.
All right, well, I'm Ashley Flintoff, she, her, hers, and I'm also in Detroit, Michigan. And Josh, I think we're also on, and I'm totally going to butcher this, so I apologize, Anishinaabe. I know I butchered that, and Fox, in addition to the others. We're on a lot of land. I guess I'll throw to Allie.
All right. And I'm Allie O'Neill, and I'm in the Washington, D.C. area, which puts me in Nanacoke, Piscataway, Powhatan. Actually, I'm in Northern Virginia, so it also puts me in Mattawomack land. So welcome. I'm also at the Neighborhood Design Center. That's where I spend my days, in addition to ACD. So thank you all. What I would love for you to do is if you all could, in the chat box right now, we're gonna take some time. Pronouns, your name will show up. So pronouns, and then also if you could share out name, pronoun, location, the land that you occupy, and additionally, in one sentence, and this is going to be hard, and I own that. I'm going to own that right now. Just in one sentence, explain what the state of community design in your world is right now. This is also a time to just generally say hi to friends and connect. Feel free to use it. We're just going to be a little bit quiet for the next few minutes until we move into the year in review. While we're doing that, I apologize. I didn't acknowledge that we have some of our amazing ACD fellows here. And so if you all wouldn't mind, Ebony gets to wear like all the hats tonight. So Ebony's gonna wave for the fellows. And additionally, Melissa, I think I saw you somewhere. Do you mind to give a quick wave and hey? Or did I make that up? I might have made that up. She was here. Okay. Well,
it may be a different Melissa.
Okay. I checked our roster in the registration. Well, we'll acknowledge our fellows as they come in. It's been an incredibly wonderful program that we hosted over the past year. It was a change from the past ACD fellowship, and Shalini can talk more about that. But we are awfully proud of the amazing women who participated in that program and are so deeply grateful to Shalini who led them. So thank you to all. And if you have questions about that fellowship, please don't hesitate. Shalini and Ebony are going to be your topic area experts, but any of us are happy to talk to you about it. Hi, Annie. And we've got Jess Zimbabwe. Hello. I'm just going to start reading stuff out. And Michelle, hello. Good to see you. So Michelle Stettleman was our generous host for the conference last year with Delta Design Build. So hello and thanks for joining. Who else do we have? And Katie Dix. Ooh, you're in Albuquerque. Make a note of that. I've been wanting to go there. And welcome, Kathy. Hi, Liz. Liz is out in St. Louis. doing amazing work. Awesome. Don't be shy, friends. Type it in.
Allie, could you repeat the last question?
What's the state of community design in your world right now?
Thank you.
Hi, Carnell. Nice to have you join us, and Lilith as well. Hi. Hello. Ooh, this is wonderful. And I do want to say we have some past board members joining us. So Just Zimbabwe, lovely to have you back as well. And Panapio, thank you. It's always our goal to have everybody stay in the ACD family. So thanks for coming back and joining us.
James Wheeler and Mallory Bacchus are also on.
I'm sorry, friends. I'm not flipping between my two things. And Mallory, hi. And James, hello. And Sierra, hello. These are all really important past board members. So as everyone has questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to them as well. Wonderful. So we're going to keep this track going because we do want to just really see everyone, which is fantastic. But I think at this point in time, it probably makes sense. If you don't mind, Ife, do you want to talk, or I'm going to give just kind of a general sentiment and then we're going to hand off. Sorry. So ACD has spent the last 2 years doing some pretty deep work and some really, really deep strategic work, understanding and articulating our role in the field of community design. Listening to other practitioners, to experts, really just trying to learn from others. And tonight we're excited to share the results of that focus and that energy. And we welcome you to help us as we spend the next year putting it into action and really building our community. It's something we feel as though is incredibly important. A lot is coming together. But it has been a labor that I believe all of us are very proud of, and that we believe is important and necessary in our field and for field building. And that part of this is going to be welcoming you all to help us do this, because what we acknowledge is, as we know in community engaged design, we can't do this alone. So we need all of you with us. We're really working to build this field, build it together. And so feel free to ask questions as this is all shared out and as we move forward. But what will be shared are ways that you all can be involved directly, make impact, and really ensure that this organization is moving in the way that will serve you, will serve our field, and will ultimately move us in the direction that I believe everyone on this call believes in. And so with that, as I spoke vaguely about all of it, I'm going to hand it to Ifoma to talk a little bit about where it is that we're going.
All right, thank you. So as Allie mentioned, I've been with the organization for 2 years now, and my first sort of introduction to the organization was a retreat where it was like a weekend-long jam session of just trying to solidify and articulate the direction that we wanted to go in collectively. And sorry for the background noise, but what came out of that experience was a definition of a statement of purpose, a mission and vision that we've still been refining over the past 2 years. And so I'll read off the statement of purpose here. The Association for Community Design works to address the inherently political and broad-reaching impacts of the quote-unquote design, planning, construction, development, and maintenance of the built environment by organizing a network of individuals, organizations, and institutions actively working as practitioners in this space to advance equity and justice. So with that, we also understood and realized that we needed to embed that with a series of values that were important to us. And those values include justice, accountability, radical partnerships, and diversity. And this is sort of just what is embodied in everything that we do. And so what we also wanted to hold was that our vision was to be supported by this purpose, this statement of purpose, but then also these values. And so the vision that we eventually led to, which we see as our North Star, is in everything that we do, the programs, the partnerships, the people that we bring on as integral to the organization and organizing, everything is centered on this vision. And it is ACD envisions a practice of design that dismantles systemic injustice and creates an equitable built environment. And we wanted it to make sure that the vision was simple enough to really encompass all the diversity within the built environment and the allied professions, but then also be very intentional about centering, addressing systemic injustice and equity, and the built environment, that those three things interlinked is really central to the work that we're doing. And within that, our mission is sort of the work that we're doing to move towards that vision. And our mission is we provide resources, connections, and support for practitioners working to advance equity and justice in the built environment. And that is evidence, and you'll see it when you learn more about the committees, that's evident in the ways in which we communicate with the public, with our members, our fellowship program, our research division, and our conference as well. So all the ways in which we engage with our members, we engage with our public, are centered in this vision and mission. So I will pass it on to Stephen, who will talk about survey results.
Hi, everybody. And so I think all of that really has stemmed from work from the board to try to better understand who our members are and who our network is. And it's really less about what the board wants to see in our mission and vision and take the organization, but also to reflect the needs and interests of our community. And so at the end, or last year, after the conference in Greenwood, we opened a survey for our members and for our network to really better understand who they are, who all you are, what matters to them, what matters to you, and how ACD's programs and organization can really respond and reflect that. And so we'll share out some more of the nitty-gritty details of the survey, but it really reinforced some of these key pieces of focusing on advancing social and environmental justice, focusing on dismantling racial inequities and systemic oppressions, and really diversifying the design field and future pipelines as key areas of interest. And really also understanding more how our conferences, how fellowship, how research offerings can better inform what people need, what they're looking for, how we might build out more membership offerings to make ACD a more compelling, regular touch point for all of you in your worlds, personally or professionally. So all of this is stemming from us having an ear to the ground and trying to get a sense of the pulse of things. So I'll drop a link to the survey in the chat right now if folks still want to participate in that and share your thoughts. I'm sure we'll probably launch a new survey for next year after this following conference to better understand how conference worked and to kind of repeat this process to make sure we're being responsive. And I'll pass it to Shannon to talk about conference.
Great. Yeah, thanks, Stephen. Yeah, so I'm just one of many people within ACD, the ACD board, and outside of ACD who's been working on the 2020 conference this year, which is called Recenter. It's September 21st through 25th. So mark your calendars as you have them open, since we're all on our computers. You may have heard some dates floating around in July previously, and we made the decision to push to September, really to allow enough time for folks to think really carefully about the conversations that they wanted to bring, the things that they wanted to share, and for folks to be prepped and ready. So the ACD conference, for those of you who haven't been and are new to the organization, is typically a 3 to 4 day event that happens at locations across the country. We generally, this generally happens in person, and we partner with the host organization. And part of the reason that we do that is to learn about community design nationally, but also to learn how it plays out in a particular city across the country, and to sort of understand some of the lessons of those organizations that we're working with. So last year we had the great honor and a lot of fun with Delta Design Build down in Greenwood, Mississippi. Unfortunately this year, because of COVID, we made the difficult decision that we're gonna go online. I'm sure most of you are attending a lot of conferences online nowadays, so trying to honor and be respectful of folks' health at this time. So we're going to an online conference. And while we're definitely gonna miss the opportunity to hug and laugh and connect with you all, whether or not that includes sing-alongs like it did last year in Greenwood, we hope that going online will give us an opportunity to have more people that we can listen to, that we can learn from, and that we can connect with from across the country. So hopefully we're gonna have even more folks that get to be part of this conversation that we're hosting. And in lieu of a local partner, because we're all gonna be all over the place, we're working to form partnerships with national organizations that are also committed to racial justice and equity across the country. So as I mentioned, this year's conference Recenter is happening September 21st through the 25th. And the structure of it, you know, we know that all of us are in meetings like this all of the time. And so the idea is that there's going to be a couple of offerings throughout the day, and that some of those offerings are, you know, going to be learning things that you can get some professional development credits for, and some of them are going to be other fun things that are trying to connect with the folks that we are outside of work. But the conference is really shaped in part by COVID, a global health pandemic, but a pandemic that has really revealed the systemic injustices that have been highlighted by all the protests that have been in the media recently. And so our conference theme and our subtracks are trying to recognize the significance of this moment in this time, and the need for people to grieve, the need for folks to connect with one another and to reconnect with themselves, and then to start to act, to start to put together a plan for what it means to move forward with a lot of energy. And so to this end, we have 3 subtracks. The first one is recharge. And this is maybe a little different from other design or built environment related conferences that you've been to. These sessions are going to offer folks a chance to pause, a chance to reflect, to connect with our community and to replenish ourselves. So this could be anything from making dinner with a group of folks on a call, to a dance party, to a yoga session. So it's really a chance to like recognize and honor who we are outside of the work we do, and that's a really important part of being able to show up to the things that we do 40 hours or more a week. The second track is revisit, and this is honoring the fact that there was a civil rights movements and many other movements and significant moments in time that recognized the need to act, that gathered people together and galvanized energy. And what can we learn from the elders who were part of that movement, and then also the lessons that came out of it. And then the last subtrack is regroup. And so this is the idea that not only because of COVID, but also because of the things that all of us have been seeing on the news, that we're being asked to work in new ways with new people to hopefully new ends. And so it demands us looking critically at the way that we work and how we build coalitions. And so how can we use these relationships that we'll develop with each other in the conference to think critically about that and to collectively find some new ways forward. So we're super excited about it. And as I said, I'm the person talking right now, but by no means am I the only person that's been involved in this. And I just want to take a minute to shout out the team of folks that have been involved. Shalini Agrawal, Rashida Williams, Ebony Dumas, Gilad Marone, Ifoma Ebo, Maria Berg, Alexa Bassa, and then our volunteers, Sophie McGinley, Alexis Griffin, Victor Garcia, Paul Conrad, and Hannah Plate. And if you would like to get involved in the conference, please send me an email. I will drop my email in the chat in just a second. We could definitely use some help with like scheduling or day of. If you're like a logistics lover, you're a Zoom master, we could totally use you during the conference and leading up to the conference. If you love Google Sheets and spreadsheets like me, please let me know. And the other thing that you can do is submit an RFP. So if you have great ideas or you know someone that has a great idea, actually a week from today, next Wednesday, the RFP will go live. So again, mark your calendars, share this widely and consider applying to present yourself. Also send us an email. Let us know who you'd like to see as a keynote speaker, or if you know someone that may want to partner with us as part of the event. And then lastly, register as an ACD member and please show up and support and attend the conference and be part of the conversation. So I look forward to seeing you all there. And again, thanks so much for being part of this conversation. Okay, I am also doing the next thing. So here we go, my transition into the next conversation, which is as smooth as my dance moves, which you're lucky I'm sparing you all from. So the next thing that we're gonna do for about 20 minutes is we're gonna break into committee groups. ACD has generally had an executive board, so that's president and vice president, kind of the Medusa-headed monster of the organization that many nonprofit boards have. And then associated with that is committees, and those are the groups that really get a lot of the work done. And we're talking about shifting a little bit to a more distributed model. So those executive folks, those leaders are really embedded in the committees. But we really want to hear from you all in a smaller setting, what you want these committees, what you want the organization to do for you. And so Ali dropped into the chat box 5 different committee breakout sessions. And if we're going to give the folks who are leading those conversations a chance just for 1 minute to tell you what they're going to talk about. And then if you can self-select yourself in one of the rooms, then Stephen will assign you so that we can have a little bit smaller conversation and hear your voices and some of your thoughts, and you're not just listening to all this hair talking at you on a Wednesday afternoon. So I'll just do conference really quickly. So I told you about the conference this year, but the conference committee is sort of an ongoing planning. So we'll talk generally about what conference committee entails, sort of what we think might happen for next year, and then also just have a little bit of a discussion about what we hope to gain out of conference, you know, folks we want to hear from, conversations we want to have, so that we can make sure that next year is building on the energy of this year's conference. So, and then I will kick it over to Ali to talk about governance and membership.
Yeah, so this is a committee that's really going to be talking about, in the short term, how we're ensuring that our structure and kind of all of the organization itself supports our mission, vision, and values. And so some of this is funding, administration, and finance, but additionally, we're going to also be really looking at, and I think this is a major push for this year, how we can really support our members and provide meaningful content and offerings that make us even more essential to you all, and actually ensure that we're doing what we set out to do, which is to really be in support of all community designers. So well, it'll be a mix of some really kind of org stuff and then some aspirational and I think potentially really interesting work. Oh, and then I'll share that over to Stephen doing communications.
Yeah, so the communications group will talk a little bit about how we share out all the programs and projects that ACD works on, from conference, fellowship, and research, as well as how we try to really reflect the network and reflect all of you in social media, website, and how we can really take that all to a new level, especially as we kind of unveil a new mission vision and make sure all that's being reflected in that. So if you have interest in graphic design or brand identity or social media or getting on resource collection for anti-racism resources, etc., that can be a group to join in. And I will kick it over to Gilad in the research group.
Awesome, thank you. So the research committee is one of the newer committees. It's been around for a couple of years. So I'll share a brief kind of background about how we started and the work that we're doing right now, some exciting research around racial justice and design work, and then talk a little bit about what that means for the future and how we're planning to share and disseminate that work, and hopefully get some input from all of you about that, and talk about kind of the future of research beyond just that project, how ACD as an organization can be doing research projects and programs that are really advancing the field, and kind of what that looks like. And I will pass it on to Shalini to talk about fellowship.
Hey everyone, thanks. Thanks for the Passover. We'll be talking about the fellowship from this past year, really sharing the structure that we followed, about the process of how the fellowship ran, the people, a little bit about the people. We have one fellow here, so definitely we'll be passing the mic over. And also we'll talk about cohort building, like the value of building small cohorts. It was a cohort model, and how you might actually take that into your own practice right now. And I will pass it over to, is that everyone? I think so, yes.
And conference is the last group, and Shannon
Oh,
talked
conference.
already.
But you already, yes, you already went. All right, so I think there is an instruction to add your interest of the group in your name. You can do that by editing your name with your images, and you will get put into a breakout room. We'll have a discussion based on what you just heard. So.
All right. Welcome back to some of us. I think since we are running a few minutes behind, I'll just move us along, and hopefully other folks will make their way back. But hello, my name is Ebony. I've been in a small room with some of you and have gotten to know some others of you, but wonderful to see all your faces, and thanks so much for bringing your energy here. Thanks for spending this time with us. I wanted to give you a brief overview of another initiative that we have going on, and that is called a social situation. Take it in, yep. It's not necessarily like, it's not always going to be like a tough conversation. It's not necessarily a panel. It's not, any of those things. And so it's a situation. It's kind of a situation. And what I mean by that is it's a place for you to have more of a connection with us, with the rest of the membership, with this community. And so it's not just this one time of year we are getting together and seeing each other and talking and building a relationship. For a while, the organization has been wanting to have more touch points that are not just the annual conference. And so, especially right now, where we are at a point where we have, postponed the conference into the fall, it's normally in the summer, these social situations are allowing us a chance to come together. And we're looking at doing this on a quarterly basis. The first one was about 2 weeks ago. It was a conversation between myself, a new board member, and also James Wheeler, who you see in one of the squares, who is a former board member. Yeah, wave to the people. Thank you, thank you. And so James and I had a conversation about kind of the evolution of ACD, where it's come from, where we see it right now, and then projecting to the future. Where do we want to see ACD go? What do we need from ACD, and how is that evolving, especially with the kind of refocusing of the mission and values that Ifoma mentioned and talked through earlier. And so these social situations will continue to happen on a quarterly basis. And we look forward to letting you know about the next one, which will be in a couple months, since we've just had one a couple of weeks ago. And the format right now is it is open to friends and family. And as we continue to grow the audience, we do hope to have more conversations with different change makers, different people who are leading conversations centering Black and Brown voices in design and community gathering. And so, yeah, be on the lookout for that. We would love to see you. It always ends with a little bit of a music hangout. And so you can continue to chat in the chat box, which is what we're going to do right now. So you'll get a little taste of the situation, if you will. Additionally, I would encourage everyone to consider becoming a member of ACD. And I know at this time in our lives, there's a lot of places that we are looking to reallocate resources, to reallocate our own personal budgets and city budgets as well. And so I would encourage you to consider ACD as a place where you can contribute. There's a monthly subscription where it doesn't have to be one lump sum, but you're welcome to join us right now for the situations, get to know this community a little bit more, and then figure out how you want to engage. And with that, thank you again. And we're gonna transition into a little bit of music. Feel free to hang out for a while. I think you can chat with people in the chat box. If you have any questions, if you have, oh yeah, there's a membership link in the chat box that Shannon has shared right now.
Yeah, and I'm sure it was all kind of talked about, but we really look forward to being back in touch with every single one of you, and we know your time is valuable, so thank you. It really means a lot to see you all. You're such powerhouses. I kind of get goosebumps when I look at the faces on this, and I'm like, this is how the world changes. It's like this group of people right here, and all their friends and their networks. And so, if you heard something you liked tonight and you felt like maybe somebody else you knew would be excited about it, please tell them. Please do think about joining. And we're thrilled to have you all more involved, and welcome to your Association for Community Design. And more soon.